how do you get that kind of courage? And how do you get that kind of love? You just have to remember something. There was another sleeper in a storm, right? It's very interesting to see in Mark chapter 4, Jesus is also asleep in a storm. And the disciples, like the sailors, are terrified. And they wake him up, just like the sailors woke up Jonah. And they say, "Don't you care?" They rebuke him. In this case, it's not warranted. And there's a miracle in both Jonah and Jesus' story, and the disciples and the sailors are saved. Oh, there is one difference, isn't there? Jonah is sacrificed, but Jesus isn't. Oh, no? Don't you realize that Jesus is thrown into the real storm? The real storm. The reason that Jesus could calm the storm and save the disciples, the reason that Jesus can save us, is because at one point he was thrown into the ultimate storm. He actually said, literally, on the cross, "All thy waves and thy billows have gone over me, for I am cast out of thy sight." He did that for us. Now, if you see him doing that for you, then you have both the power and you have the strength and the weakness. You have both the power and the compassion to pour yourself out for your city, so that the people around you don't rebuke you, but know what you're doing for their public good. Even though they don't believe what you believe, they say, "There's nobody, I would hate to see this church gone." You know, the very, very, very end of David Martin Lloyd-Jones' sermon, what is the answer to the sermon? Jesus Christ says, "This kind will only come out with prayer." And in the end, the doctor's point was, we don't need an evangelism program, we need a revival. We have to get the wonder of the gospel in our hearts, and we have to have a revival, and that happens through prayer. There's a great place where Alexander the Great was asked by one of his generals for an enormous sum of money so he could marry his daughter off. And Alexander the Great said, "Okay, I'll give it to you." And a treasurer comes to Alexander the Great and says, "Why are you giving this man so much money? Don't you realize this is 10 times more money than anyone's ever used to marry somebody off? This is ridiculous. Why are you giving him so much money? He's asking for the moon." And Alexander the Great says, "Don't you understand? This man asking me for this ridiculous sum does me great honor." The treasurer says, "What?" Alexander says, "Yes, by asking me for such a ridiculous sum, it shows that he believes I am both rich and generous." Are you insulting your maker by your low expectations about evangelism in your city? Are you insulting him? As John Newton says, "Thou art coming to a king, large petitions with thee bring, for his grace and power are such, none can ever ask too much."